Newly announced Star Wars: The High Republic host Krystina Arielle calls all white people racist. Star Wars and Lucasfilm officially support calling all white people racist. Andy Signor threatened with physical violence and castration for defending Gina Carano. Star Wars was making the best comeback of any floundering franchise in all of fictional history, and these niggas have ruined it. Welcome to my first official video of 2021, being recorded on January 24th, 2021.
Just keep going, just keep going.
I have to start with Star Wars. Of course, where else would I start? Star Wars was on the track of comeback. They had lost so much favor with fans, with the Disney sequel trilogy, with Solo, with all the stupidity coming out of some of the people behind the scenes. But they were on track for a comeback because we also were introduced to The Mandalorian, Clone Wars Season 7. We had Ahsoka Tano make her live-action debut, portrayed gratefully by Rosario Dawson, I might add. We even had Luke Muff-Wuckin' Skywalker in The Mandalorian Season 2 finale. And with all the criticism of that show, most of it warranted, it had done a lot in winning over fans who had been burned so many times by Disney Star Wars. Things were looking good. And then this shit happens. For those of you who are so blessed to be uninitiated on this bullshit, The High Republic is a series of novels and comics that goes into the past of the Jedi. Now, if you're into the EU or the Legends canon, then you probably don't care much about this because you've been getting some really good juicy stories about the Jedi moving forward and actually progressing the Star Wars story. But then are people like me who haven't been into the EU for that long. I only just started reading it, and what I have read is extremely good. I can't get enough of this shit. If you can get your hands on some EU books or comics, please do, because this shit will make you be like, Ray who? Kylo what? Okay, let me know when Mara Jade's gonna make her on-screen debut. Then we can talk. For folks who have been delving into that richness for a while, they really don't need this stuff. Same for folks who've been playing a lot of the video games like Knights of the Old Republic. But as most of you know, once Disney acquired Lucasfilm, all that stuff got the axe. It's now its own separate canon and has no relation to what is actively going on in the Star Wars universe, quote unquote, proper. So this is Disney's attempt to try and fill that void. And, it's a fucking piece of dog shit's what it is. I can't even mince words with you. The art looks bad. It's just bad. I'm not even gonna spend a long time on it. It's just terrible. It either looks woefully boring or completely kiddie, like completely unfitting for a Star Wars property, a major Star Wars property like that. This isn't some little pooky production thrown together on YouTube somewhere. Oh, wait. This is supposed to be, the next big phase for Star Wars. But it's half-assed, the character designs are shit, the stories themselves are shit, that we get to follow more Mary Sues who are just the perfectest, bestest ever, even though they're teenagers who are freaking Padawans. Some people thought that we were getting something new. Turns out we were just getting more of the same. But, to quote the angry video game nerd, this is only the beginning of just how ass this fuckfest is. Because now we gotta talk about the people behind the scenes. We gotta talk about our girl Krystina Ireland, who's talking shit about white people, saying that, white men are just mediocre and they're just on here bragging about their mediocrity. She's just shitting on white people left and right, and she just does not care. Because if anything happens to her job, she'll just go work at Amazon or Starbucks, so whatevs. She is so resolute in her stance that she straight up told folks not to buy her book. She told them not to buy The High Republic, even though she's an author. She is a major author, contributor to The High Republic. And she's telling people not to buy it if they don't like her politics. Well, at least people are being upfront now. And I'm like, okay, thanks for helping me dodge a fucking bullet, Krystina. But Krystina, is only the appetizer. The main course of fuckery is coming, and its name is Krystina, the final form of Star Wars bigotry. Her opinions that I'm about to read to you have been backed by Star Wars itself. Their official social media platforms are standing by her to the point where there's a whole fucking hashtag for this shit. I'm gonna try and keep this next segment relatively short because a lot of people have already covered the headassery that is Krystina Arielle's thoughts directly. But just to do a little Cliff Notes version, she says stuff like, white women are just as complicit in the upholding and enforcing of white supremacy. I don't have an ego, I'm also not a bully. I have said repeatedly I don't owe white people a conversation about racism. I've been living with it, they've been doling it out. White people, fucking stop it. Your racism won't save you. Your ignorance is not an excuse. Ironically, this tweet actually would be valid. Assuming that this Jeff Yang person is telling the truth, this is an extremely ignorant and potentially racist action. The problem is the inclusion of the white people thing. I've heard plenty of people talk shit about Asian folks, how we shouldn't support them anymore, how they all hate us anyway, don't go to their fucking restaurants, it's all dog and cat. But here's the gotcha. All that shit was said by black people because black people can be racist too. Shh, 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 shh. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. This idea that white people are the only ones that are being assholes to folks over race is absolutely smooth-brained as hell. And none of the tweets that I've read you are old. All of this has been said within the last year. All of it. This is just who she fucking is. She is an open, unapologetic, anti-white racist. Now, Bounding into Comics made a story about this. And what was the reaction of the official Star Wars Twitter page? They made this tweet decrying racism and bigotry and bullying and all that shit. Now, the funny part about that is they didn't have this energy for Gina Carano, even though she's been completely crucified on the Bird app over such crimes as not including her pronouns in her bio, making fun of people who demand that she put her pronouns in her bio, and simply not being a raging far leftist suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. They also did not share this energy for Rosario Dawson, even though people have been trying to cancel her ever since one guy made some accusations about her and her family being transphobic, most of which have been dropped at this point, and none of which were supported by a shred of objective evidence. They've been trying to get these women fired even though the force is fucking female. They've been calling them all types of bitches and whores and cunts, saying they hope these women catch COVID, they're bigots, they're evil, and they deserve to have their lives ruined. No support from the official Star Wars. No support from Lucasfilm. John Boyega, burned by Lucasfilm directly, was told that he was going to have a significant part in the sequel trilogy, and then they proceeded to nerf and neuter his character with every following movie after The Force Awakens. They even fucked him over on the promotional poster for The Force Awakens in China because they know like the black folk over there, apparently. We'll shrink them so that you don't have to stare at that big old black bell pepper nose. Where was Star Wars standing up for him? Nowhere. But they just love him. Star Wars, they just love them some darkies. They love him so much that they don't do shit to support him. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I know Andre 3000 once said, if you say real talk, I probably won't trust you. But real talk. We know why Star Wars is backing Krystina, but didn't support any of those other people. Krystina Arielle is a far-left black woman, full stop. They know that if they were to actually stand up and say what she said was some bullshit and we don't condone it, people would light them up. Because they would see that as racism. Because that's how these type of people work. If you criticize anything that a black person does, you're racist. Especially if it's a black woman. You just can't say shit. They can say and do whatever. But the moment you come against them, you are the racist. The only exceptions are black women who aren't on the far left. So people like, Candace Owens and all that crowd, you can call them whatever name you want. Threaten them, say you want to give them the rie up. Do everything to them. Just fuck them. But if they're on the left and they're a black woman, can't say shit about them. So the fact that this woman is being openly racist does not matter to them. Because by their definition, black people cannot be racist and white people cannot experience racism. So it's alright to them anyway. But even if it were racist, they still wouldn't want you to say shit because to them, black women are all infallible queens. You just can't do nothing to them. As long as they're on the far left and agree with everything we say, then they're queens and we just can't say shit about what they do, even when it's blatantly bigoted. They wake up looking for people to cancel. But you can't cancel Krystina because she's one of their darlings. So I guess I said all that to say, I'm done. I'm just done with Star Wars now. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Star Wars is dead. This High Republic bullshit and the people who are behind it, they have killed Star Wars. And the official people behind Star Wars itself have ensured that it cannot be resurrected. At least not anytime soon. They had gained back so much favor from fans, even skeptical fans. Members of the dreaded fandom menace were starting to warm up to Star Wars again. Some more than others, but they were having hope. And then this shit gets here. Star Wars and LucasFilm had the greatest opportunity for comeback of all time. Niggas ruined it. I used to have hope. I used to want Star Wars to get better. I used to want it to get back to that place of just reverence and awe that it once held in our culture. But if these are the people who are going to be at the helm, fuck it. People like this have been calling the shots in Lucasfilm for too damn long. So if they're going to be alright with it, I'm going to be alright with watching it fall and burn. What do you get when you take unapologetic bigots, have them be the voices and faces that everyone sees and hears, and then when people start to give them a little bit of heat, you support them in their bigotry? I'll tell you what you get. You get what you fucking deserve. Have fun falling down to the fucking bottom, Star Wars. It was nice knowing you. I'll always love your past shit, but I'm done with you moving forward. Ahsoka Tano will always be bae. She will always be the best. Luke Skywalker will always be the best. Princess Leia, Han Solo, always. Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Asajj Ventress, they will always be feared villains who are revered and worthy of the reverence that people give them. But the shit y'all are pulling here is going to be lost and forgotten to time before the end of this year. And I can't wait for the fucking sand on the beach to be washed up over it again and again and again until all that's left is a monument of stupidity. Just like that half of Statue of Liberty from Planet of the Apes. Because this is what y'all fucking deserve. Before I leave, I have to give a thank you. A big thank you to you. Everybody who's listening and watching right now. Because y'all made 2020 the best year I've had on YouTube in a long time. Everyone who shared the videos, subscribed, liked, commented. Y'all are the real heroes here. I'm just a simple nerd making sense of this crazy ass world we live in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Animane, and I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.